Hi, welcome to Mike's Diabetes World. Yeah, change the light. Right over there for overexposed picture. Today I want to talk of you something quite serious, especially any new diabetics who are getting to the age to drive. Now, driving, everyone seems to think it's a right. And I know you've heard this a million times, but it's very much a privilege. And driving was great while I drove. Now, you have to really think what sort of things you do in your normal life and how driving may make it better. Now, for most diabetics, whether you're type 2, type 1, you've got to be safe out there. And, right now you're probably watching this and you're thinking, I'll be safe. Who says I won't be safe? The problem is your blood sugars are probably normal now. If your blood sugars are heading low, you're going to make choices that you normally wouldn't make. And that's a problem. It's so much more. When researching this, I was going to think, okay, well, the talk's pretty well going to be on high blood sugars, low blood sugars while you drive. But just like diabetes, there is so much more to watch out for, and it's just mind-boggling. Now, what they see, or Diabetes Canada, I keep calling it the CDA, says, and let me get the old clunkers on. See, I do well with one hat. Impaired sensory or motor function. If you've had diabetes for a while, your nerves are going to start playing problems. Right now, I would have problems with the gas and the brakes. I know this for a fact. So, that's going to be an issue. Of course, way to get off this is eye issues. If you get floaters, if you have problems seeing or reduced eyesight, especially at night, these are the things you have to think of. Nerve damage anywhere. Hello? Kidney disease. Now, I really wonder for myself if kidney disease would have played a part. I don't know why. I couldn't find anything really on why kidney disease and driving. Cardiovascular, because you don't want to have a heart attack out there. And if you're at danger, it's easy. Don't drive. Peripheral and a stroke. A stroke, even a mild stroke, may make you a danger out there to yourself and to other people. Driving can be iffy for a lot of people. And there's a lot of bad drivers out there, and you need not to be one of them. Pure and simple. And the big one for me at first was the hypoglycemia. Now, we kind of have a little bit of humor in this thing. Back when I was in the hospital for 9 months. I had young intern, and she must be a full-fledged doctor by now, but she kind of came to me and said, "Mr. Stewart?" And I went, "Yes." And it was almost like you could tell she was being put up to this by the other doctors, and it was, "Well, you know, you really shouldn't be driving out there, so we're going to have to ask you to give up your driver's license." And back then, I had it, but I wasn't really using it, so it was, oh, okay. But for someone who drives for a living, it could be detrimental, and you may have to look at other ideas to get around. In BC, in the province of British Columbia, we have something called, or in Lower Mainland anyway, we have something called Handy Dart, which we're able to be picked up and dropped off. It's a great way in order to see that you're able to get around. You have to phone, you have to make arrangements, but also all of our buses are pretty well easy to get to. Our SkyTrain's easy to access. There's so many different options to get around. Now, if you have what I talked about, kidney disease, coronary disease, and diabetes, you may want to look into, and I'm not suggesting everyone, but if you have those and diabetes, you may want to take a look at, are you disabled? And I was kind of shocked when my old endocrinologist, we were talking about having enough funds to eat, because I was getting financial aid at the time. And I said, well, yes, but the only way I could get it was if I was able. And she said, you know what? You are disabled. And that was kind of like a boom. And things have progressed. I had nerve disease back then, which I wasn't aware of, which has grown in popularity in my body. But driving, some really good standards are test your blood sugar before you get behind the wheel. If it's 4 or below, no go. You need to treat until you're up higher. Now, 5 to 8 is normal, is as tight control as you can get. If you're higher than 8, higher than 10, then you need to be a little cautious, because a high blood sugar, you're going to be okay. There it goes again. Being tired and being worn out. Another clue is you should be driving only when you're within range, and you should test every 2 hours of driving. Now, if you're a lot like me and your blood sugar starts to go down, I start to sit here and say, if I just make it, it's a little slow process. If I just make it so much further, I'll be able to, stop. Or if I just get to that place I'm going to, I'll be able to stop and eat. Wrong. That, if you're starting to think like that, you need to pull over, do a blood sugar, and if you are low, treat your low. Now, I went to diabetic training just to tie this up, and there was a person there who said, well, I eat high sucrose food right away so I don't end up going low while I drive. Well, that's not great for your body. And if you're told not to drive, you may need to find a new lifestyle, a new way of getting around. There are ways you never even thought of. I know it's difficult, but I know you can do it. You live with diabetes every day of your life. You can do it. Anyway, have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.